Hello, what is up, everyone? It is me, Ewan, joined by Josh for WhatCulture.com on this internetless Friday.
No,
it's really
a
tragic.
wasteland. It's like Jules said, 2001: A Space Odyssey at the very beginning with the monkeys and the bones and the throwing stuff around.
It's really hectic out there, but the content persists, as does the news. And there is some new news, obviously, because Batman the movie just keeps on having news.
Batman the movie.
The Batman, as it's being called.
Yeah.
Being directed by Matt Reeves. If you've been keeping up with it, you'll know that rumours of Ben Affleck being involved and then not being involved and being involved again and then not being involved and then actually being involved have basically dominated the news cycle for the past year, I'm going to say now.
Yeah.
It's been non-stop. But now we have a new rumour. And it comes by way of Revenge of the Fans, which is what I'm going to get if this rumour turns out to be true. And it's the rumour is that Reeves is looking at Batman Year One, written by Frank Miller and drawn by Dave Mazzucchelli as to form the inspiration for this new Batman film. Good comic. Why Frank Miller?
Look, here's the thing, right? Batman Year One is a great comic, I would say. One of my favourite Frank Miller comics. When it's not bogged down by his usual shtick in as much as something like The Dark Knight Returns is. For me, why? Because I know you hate this idea.
Yes.
Why do you hate that Year One is going to be adapted when it's such a popular comic?
I love Year One.
Yeah.
I think it is the definitive Batman origin story. There is no debating that. Alongside The Long Halloween, it's the best retelling of Batman's first 2 years as The Dark Knight. The problem I have is that not only have we already seen this story partially adapted already in Batman Begins, they actually pay homage to a lot of scenes in that comic, in that film. The fact is that it's Miller's material again, and I think one of the things that you look at the MCU that does so well is that you have so many different interpretations pooling together to form one definitive vision. Whereas with the Batman of DC, it has very much been almost like an Elseworldsy, very specific kind of interpretation of Batman that I wouldn't argue has the same appeal as like a Batman the Animated Series character or whatever. So that is my issue.
It's sort of strange that despite the amount of interpretations recently that we've had of the character, it's been each one has been very Frank Miller-esque. It's sort of, to WB, he might as well have created Batman in their eyes, and it is frustrating to see them kind of confine themselves to that one interpretation of the character, like you said, when Marvel, in a way, sort of spread out with each subsequent movie. It seems like the difference between Thor, The Dark World, and Thor Ragnarok was huge, and yet we keep getting reboots of the actual character with WB, and they're not doing much different in a way. But I guess in their mind, it's sort of like mainstream audiences love this version of Batman, and I don't know if that's true. I think a lot of us do. I know I don't have as much of a problem with it as you, but it is frustrating to see them kind of box themselves in this sort of corner.
The Batman is not short of amazing comics.
Yeah.
Like, he's up there in terms of with Daredevil as having some of the best stories of all time, and the sheer quantity and quality has never been in doubt. But there's another thing that comes with this rumor, and it's that they're looking at a younger Harvey Dent to star alongside a younger Bruce Wayne, which again to me hints that they're looking at what made The Dark Knight so successful and going, how can we potentially work that in? Because again, that's all about the rise and fall of Harvey Dent, and then he becomes Two-Face. So is this all getting a little bit familiar? And does this mean that Ben Affleck is not returning? Because obviously if they're looking at a younger Batman and it's going to be an origin story, can they really... Is this position tenable?
Yeah, I think yes to both. I think Batfleck is almost certainly, like you said, they're looking for an actor around the 25 to 30-year-old mark, which rules out some of my favourites. But Armie Hammer might still get in there. Bring him back. But I think the frustrating thing about it being it's like a sort of origin story, again, like you said, it's very familiar. But then I think from a business perspective, you can sort of see why they need that. They jumped straight into like the Batman lore with Ben Affleck's version and like just sort of pushed you into it at the sort of tail end of his career. And I thought conceptually that worked. In execution, it might not have been a great idea. You didn't need another origin story at that point. And I think if you kind of did that again, you might confuse audiences a little bit, thinking it was sort of a continuation of the same character. Because, I mean, goddamn, DC's extended universe, or the worlds of DC as it is known now, is completely just a nightmare to get your head around. There's two different Joker movies. There's about to be another Batman. And I think a clean break and a new origin story sort of signals, right, look, we are starting afresh again. This is not connected to the last couple of movies that you've seen Batman in. Please enjoy it, as its own standalone.
That's a really interesting take on it, and I would love to hear what you guys have to say about this new rumor down in the comments below. Are you excited that they are going down the origin route again, or is it a little bit of too much, too familiar? As always, I've been Ewan.
I've been Josh.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.